And so we come to Crimson Tide and director Tony Scott, maker of Top Gun, who this time turns his hand to a post-Cold War underwater thriller. A bunch of renegade Russians, even further to the right than Michael Portillo, have taken over a nuclear missile base and for various reasons are threatening to wipe out America. Battle-scarred US Navy Captain Gene Hackman is ordered to head his nuclear submarine in the direction of the missile base and, if necessary, take it out. Hackman is a fellow who does everything by the book. His new executive officer, Lieutenant Commander Denzel Washington, on the other hand, represents a newer, less gung-ho breed of serviceman who believes that a modicum of caution and a spot of mature reflection don't necessarily come amiss before you start blowing up the entire world. And when an incomplete message comes through, to nuke or not to nuke, that is the question, conflict erupts between the two men. So that's the setup, and this is what Tony Scott has to say about it. I know that unkind critics in the past have said your films have got more style than content. I mean, is that something that you took to heart and thought, the hell with it, this one's going to have content?
Nope. I've always just followed my nose, and I've had a love affair with each movie I've ever done, and this movie came along, and for me it was the most daunting of all the movies I've done to date, because I couldn't resort to my tricks. You know, for me it was almost a theatre production. It was almost a two-hander, and enclosed within four walls. You know, the movie would live or die with the two characters, with Gene and Denzel. It's the best acting experience I've had on a movie to date.
As you no doubt heard, my XO has appendicitis. He's the best I ever had. I need a good man to fill his spot. Your name was at the top of the list.
Oh, that's good to know, sir.
It was a short list.
Gene Hackman and Denzel Washington are probably two of the best actors around. Were they your choice, or did they come with a package?
No, after I read the script, I mean, the first names out of my mouth were Gene Hackman and Denzel Washington, and Gene has been one of my, all-time favourites. I mean, Gene, I think, is a brilliant actor, and I had a brilliant experience with him. And he is unto himself. He goes off and he does his homework and is totally preoccupied with what he is doing, and he never feels what he's doing is good enough.
And Denzel Washington?
Denzel's totally different. Denzel, he flies by the minute. If things, if he sees things changing, he'll respond to those changes.
Which approach do you prefer as a director?
They're two totally different actors, and I selected them for the roles in the movie because Gene Hackman and Denzel Washington, for me, as those actors were the characters in the movie.
You've done films of, fighter pilots in Top Gun, motor racers in Days of Thunder. Now you've gone under the sea. I mean, you've gone pretty well everywhere to make movies. But what all these have in common is that people in very risky occupations. Is that, again, something that attracts you in a film?
It is. People who live their lives on the edge attract me, and people who live strange lives. And what initially attracted me to this movie was submariners, and I still can't understand what makes a guy want to go underwater for 90 days, So that was the darkness and the strangeness of these characters, and that's what also pulled me into the piece.
Give me the missile key, Mr. Hunter. I'm the commander of this ship! Give me that damn key!
Radio receiving flash traffic. Emergency action message.
God help you if you're wrong.
If I'm wrong, then we're at war. God help us all.
Now, you said that you'd like to find a film to do in Europe. Why?
Because I'm British, yeah, and I miss England, and I miss Europe, and that's why Ridley and I bought Shepperton Studios, because we grew up here, and we want to support the British industry.
What are your ambitions for Shepperton?
Ambitions are to, in the last 5 years, I feel there's been a wealth of talent coming out of England in terms of directorial and acting talent, and we want to support that with Shepperton, as well as bringing American money and American movies in here to be done at Shepperton.
I mean, Shepperton has been quite busy of late, hasn't it?
Yes.
I mean, it had Frankenstein, 4 Weddings and a Funeral, and Judge Dredd, I think, were all made there. But isn't that largely dependent on the fact that the pound is very weak against the dollar? So that if that changes, which it might do, and the pound is strong against the dollar, isn't the supply of American production going to dry up?
No, because labour costs are cheaper here, a lot cheaper. So, for instance, Judge Dredd was 33% cheaper by shooting in England than actually shooting it in America. And you know what we're trying to do is do a full service production facility, post-production facility, as well as production facility at Shepperton.
Oh, that's very good, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you say you encourage the British film industry. How do you and Ridley plan to do that?
We're just there to support it, and support it in terms of helping, you know, films with tighter budgets, you know, bring them to Shepperton. Maybe we can actually do deals with them so that they don't hurt as much as they would at other places. Yeah.
Well, at least you and Ridley are putting your money where your mouth is by buying Shepperton, because it's a... I wouldn't imagine that buying a film studio is a surefire way to get rich, is it?
No. It's a very dangerous way. But, you know, we had, you know, obviously Ridley and I didn't buy it totally on our own. Yeah, we had investors, and it's just shown in the year that we've actually owned the studio is full with production, and it looks like it's going to continue for another year, and with guaranteed production, and so it looks like it could be very profitable in the next few years.
Well, I wish him and brother Ridley the best of luck with Shepperton.